Megyn Kelly is calling for the Walt Disney Company to fire Rachel Zegler just months before her big Snow White movie is set to deliver what could be a huge box office flop. But more is being said now as Zegler's apology for her recent statements is called into question. It could have huge impacts on the Gina Carano lawsuit funded by Elon Musk. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. Coming to you from somewhere sunny USA, the studio is glistening with joy. Disney not having the same kind of feeling today, and that's because Rachel Zegler is causing them more consternation. Folks, you can help us not have any consternation here on this channel simply by clicking the like button. All right, we are showing you right now the top stories on Google if you search for Megyn Kelly and Rachel Zegler. I just want to show you how this is being played out in terms of the narrative that we're supposed to believe. At the very top right, it's the first story you see. Megyn Kelly wants Disney to replace Rachel Zegler. In other words, from Vanity Fair, which is behind a paywall, loathing for Megyn Kelly. Forbes says Rachel Zegler apologizes for anti-Trump comments post-election, fending off her detractors. You get the idea, folks. You get the idea. Not available, of course, is the actual article that Megyn Kelly has written about the topic. But we have it. And we're going to read it in just a moment. But first, I want to show you this out of That Park Place because this is why it matters so much. Gina Carano. Folks, the deal is that Disney fired Gina Carano, and part of their explanation for why it was okay to fire her is she wouldn't apologize for what they deemed to be very incendiary comments, and thus they were allowed to fire her. That's been part of their justifications in their legal filings. And of course, there's a huge lawsuit against them funded by Elon Musk. Disney just returned to X, by the way, which is owned by Elon Musk, so maybe they've had enough. But That Park Place article is so important. The link is down in the description below. We're not going to have time to read it in its full effect, but Disney's Snow White actress Rachel Zegler issues apology after unhinged election meltdown, but did she write it? This is by Marvin Montanaro. And folks, listen, the deal is, does it count if Zegler didn't write it? Now, I have my thought on that, and I have my guesstimation legally what it means if she didn't write it, but it came from her account. We'll let you in the comments to decide what you think. Does it matter? There's evidence that Zegler did not write the apology, that she wrote the very incendiary, mean, terrible things about the majority of Americans, but then someone else, it looks like, probably, maybe, wrote the apology and it just got posted. Does that matter? Don't know. But here is what Megyn Kelly has to say. We'll walk you through this article that she has written that seems very difficult to find, despite the fact that Megyn Kelly is huge here on YouTube right now. Megyn Kelly getting something like 100 million views per month. Good grief. Here's the article. She has to go, from MegynKelly.com. Megyn says Disney should fire Snow White actress Rachel Zegler after insane post about Trump voters. Now, what would it mean for Zegler to be fired? Well, that would be a very interesting thing because the movie is supposed to come out this March. And we estimate here, although we cannot fully verify yet, but we estimate that Disney probably has a bill in production alone approaching $500 million because this movie has had 3 reshoots. So that is a tremendous amount of extra work that has gone into this. And the whole movie appears to have been changed. It started off with dirty hippies. Now it has CGI monstrosity dwarfs. So it's almost as if they've made 2 entire movies, 3 different attempts at it. Here's the article. Democrats are still struggling to reckon with their massive loss to Donald Trump and Republicans last week, and they cannot seem to figure out what went wrong for them. Now, folks, remember that I do not take a positive political position of any kind on this channel. I try not to, and I try to only cover entertainment and politics when they intertwine. This is an entertainment channel. I know that we have been guilty of talking about politics a lot, but we're guilty of that because entertainment has been hyper-focused on politics a lot as of late, and you understand why. Says that is true of Democrat politicians. That is true of the corporate media, and that is true of Hollywood. As I read this, remember that this is Megyn Kelly. This is her article. The latest example comes from actress Rachel Zegler. She rose to fame in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story remake, But you might remember her from all the controversy surrounding Disney's upcoming live-action remake of Snow White. There was the backlash to the beloved Seven Dwarves being dropped in favor of magical creatures, and also to Zegler herself going off about how her version of the 19th century German fairy tale doesn't need a prince. All of this got Disney on its heels and led them to make changes to the film and delay the release until March of 2025. Now, you remember that Valiant Renegade on his Renegade Online show Sunday night said that he thinks they'll have to delay this even more. I don't necessarily agree, only because I think Disney needs to rip the Band-Aid off. And maybe it's just a hope and a dream and a twinkle in my eye that wishes that Zegler will come our way March, because, oh my gosh, can you believe the kind of content that will come out with that? All right, Zegler is back with controversial comments. You see, she is very, very upset about Trump's win, as evidenced by a post on her Instagram. Now, I know that most of you already know this and you know the story. Some of you do not, though. You're finding this channel for the first time. We hope you'll subscribe. We'll read this, folks, just for the sake of people who have not been familiar with it. Zegler said this: I find myself speechless in the midst of this, another 4 years of hatred, leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in, leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Remember, she doesn't have a daughter. Leading us towards a world that will force her, the daughter who is imaginary, to have a baby, again, an imaginary baby to an imaginary daughter, she doesn't want, leading us towards a world that is fearful. I shouldn't be this shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning. I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This loss should not have been, and it is certainly should not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Spoken as the emperor, I'm sure. You'll notice the grammar here, and that's why this, I guess, matters, is because she has a very particular style of writing. The apology does not follow that style. It looks as if someone with real grammatical talent had a go at it. All right, so here's what Megyn Kelly says about this. And the reason this matters is because Megyn Kelly has a megaphone that is massive. Again, something like 100 million views per month. In fact, folks, give me just a second. I will look that up. Hang on. I don't want to be wrong about that. Let's see what we've got here. If we look this up, she has, holy moly, I'm understating it tremendously. Well, that's because in post-election, her views have skyrocketed. Let me give you a quick number on Megyn Kelly and why this matters. Back in December of 2023, Megyn Kelly was averaging something like 13 million views per week. This from socialblade.com. In fact, here, I'll show it to you all, folks. Look at this. Look at this. And she was averaging, it steadily rose, 11 million, 15 million per week again. Look at this now. She has skyrocketed. She is getting 200 million views per month in post-election coverage. That is insane. That is so huge. Unbelievable. She's doing better ratings than the networks on YouTube. That's incredible. So she has a megaphone, right? All right, so here's what Megyn Kelly says. Hello, Disney. And this means it's in the mainstream, by the way, because Megyn Kelly is the mainstream. Sorry, Legacy Dinosaur Media. Hello, Disney. You are going to have to redo your film again because this woman is a pig. And you fired Gina Carano for far less than this nonsense. That's key right there. When Megyn Kelly is calling them out on the Gina Carano issue. By the way, she is starring right now on Broadway in Romeo and Juliet, so don't go see that. But can you picture a Broadway actress who issued a post saying, blank Biden supporters, or may Biden or Kamala never have a moment of peace? That person would be fired so fast it would make your head spin. They would not last one more minute in Hollywood, or in any Hollywood role. I'm sorry, Disney. She has to go right now. She goes on to talk about The View and all of this, but the big point is that when Megyn Kelly brings this kind of attention to Rachel Zegler, what that means is that Megyn Kelly is beginning to cover the kinds of things that we cover here. But Megyn Kelly comes with a significant megaphone. It's megaphone. And I'm not here to diminish the number of views we have. I mean, I think we're pretty large in this space. And again, folks, that's because of you. You deserve all the credit for that. But Megyn Kelly, especially post-election, is on a completely different level now. I mean, it's bonkers how well she's doing. It's amazing. I wish her all the best. I'm very excited for her and her future successes. Can you imagine what the ceiling might be? She could get to 300, 400, 500 million views per month in the future. It's just wild. Exceeding the total population of the United States per month in views. That is wild. Go, Megyn, go. And so happy to see that after how she was treated by the networks, by the way. So what do we know? Well, we know that there's going to be pressure now on Disney to respond to Rachel Zegler in the same way they responded to Gina Carano. But what does that even mean? How does Disney fire someone who has a movie coming out in just a few months? Would they actually take her and rip her out of the movie and replace her with another actress? No, I don't think so. And so that puts Disney in a strange place. And that's why I believe this apology was issued, because there's nowhere else for Disney to go than to force her to apologize, because otherwise they're treating her and Gina in a very different way, despite the fact that it's obvious, clear, and there is no doubt about it that Zegler was far more venomous than Gina, who I don't think, by the way, was venomous at all. I think she was right and trying to point the world in a kinder, gentler direction. Of course, there are some who lost their ever-loving minds because they're never loving on people who disagree with them in any way and always looking for a chance to take them down. That's what happened to Gina. That's why it's not happening to Zegler. But Zegler may have actually ended her career, and Megyn Kelly is finishing this thing off. We shall see. Will the mainstream, even beyond Megyn Kelly, pick this up? Will you see this being carried by places like PBD, Fox News, and more? Will you see this on the networks? We doubt The View is going to talk about it. We doubt that very much. Will Disney be forced to delay the movie, as Valiant Renegade is suggesting? Don't know. But the tides are turning in a Rachel Zegler saga that has been full and filled with suck. And she never gets enough of making all of us just step back in horror at the things she is willing to say. It's Zegler versus Megyn Kelly. We'll see what happens. It's Disney versus Elon and Gina. We'll see what happens, and we'll be covering it, as always, right here. Folks, if you enjoy content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as always and as ever, keep learning, keep growing, and you bet, keep having fun.
You'd better hang on to your feathers, little bird. They need to put you in the show.
What? Jose, what are you listening to? You don't even have ears.
Vacation Radio 24/7. Original music on YouTube.
Huh?
Vacation Radio. WDW Pro Music Channel.
I have no idea what you're saying. But if you want to be listening to music, you should head over to Vacation Radio 24/7 on YouTube. One of the 100 other channels WDW Pro's been working on. Oh, and I have a song for you, Jose. Jose Cowabunga. He is Jose Cowabunga.
He's Jose.
That one seems a little bit foreign to you.